clients came to us with the daunting task of updating their outdated master bathroom into a luxurious oasis, we knew we had our work cut out for us. Watch how we transformed this outdated space into a luxurious oasis that our clients loved and has an overall opulent, sort of rustic, but elegant feel. This project was challenging in that the architecture of the house is a mid-century modern house with lots of wood details. And one of the details that I had to incorporate into my design is the entire house has wood panel ceilings, and they happen to be pretty high ceilings, so they're very interesting and lovely, but they're dark, and we had to keep those in the space. Well, we wanted to keep them in the space because they're integral to the house. The client wanted that as well. So we had to improve the ventilation system, which was really tricky because the house is older and having to keep that ceiling intact was really challenging. But we did that and brought it up to date and functional while keeping those beautiful ceilings intact. The other aspect that I had to incorporate into the design is that this house has very large windows, which is terrific, lets in tons of sunlight, but they're framed in a dark brown color, so they coordinate with the ceiling and the other elements in the overall house, the aesthetics of the mid-century modern house. So I knew I needed to incorporate these warmer tones into the space, and the way I did that was using some really opulent travertine tiles that have varying shades of brown and camel and taupe and really interesting rich patterns. And the floor is done in a travertine tile in a Versailles pattern, which is very classic, but also modern at the same time. And I love that juxtaposition of those different design elements combined into one area. To complement the travertine tiles on the floor, the shower walls were done in a Cappadocia walnut marble. So that also has those brown tones that are dynamic and interesting, but accented with a tile that's done in a Jin Shan bone tile in a diamond pattern that has slightly varying tones of taupe and camel and white, done in a smaller size, and makes it very interesting and compelling, having a different tile, shape, and stone, but that complements the other stone in the tiles in the space. So that's giving us that complex layering of textures and colors, but all complementing each other. So since this space is in a modern type of house, we opted to do a slab front drawer and door vanity. That's a floating vanity to continue that modern aesthetic of this space and really just give us those clean lines that a floating vanity has. So with the flat front doors and drawers, that continues that really modern take, and we opted for a natural maple wood, which is so interesting. A maple wood species is particularly compelling because you get that organic texture, but because maple has really consistent grain pattern, it makes it very interesting and a perfect application when you're trying to keep a space feeling modern and you want to have that organic wood show through. So that's what I opted for in a candy stain color. So it's a warm brown, which really works well with the travertine tiles on the floor and the Cappadocia wall tiles as well. And since the space was kind of tight in this area, the clients definitely wanted to have 2 sinks, one for each of them. So in order to do that, we opted for rectangular mirrors that have a bronze frame to them with rounded edges, so it's continuing that updated modern feel. And since we were limited on space, we did vanity lighting above the mirrors, so those have a bronze finish with a really interesting frosted glass over the light fixtures. That balances out both of the sinks and gives us some symmetry, which is really one of my design goals wherever possible, is to achieve some symmetry, because it just gives you a really nice feeling in any space that you're in. And behind those mirrors again is that diamond shaped Jinshan bone marble tile. So we have that lighter tone of the whites, the camels, the browns, in an interesting but opulent and compelling overall aesthetic. And the clients really love to take baths, so we had to have a deep soaking tub for these clients to enjoy after a long day. So we did that as a combination bathtub shower in the space with glass walls and bronze handles on the glass door entering into the shower. If you'd like to see more of my designs, and if you've enjoyed this episode of Design Diaries, check out the longer version of this on my YouTube channel and share your questions, share your comments. I love to hear the feedback. I love to talk design. If you have pictures from a project that you've done, please share those and stay tuned for more Design Diaries.